5 cursed medieval objects that still terrify the world. What if I told you that some objects from the Middle Ages carry more than just history, they carry curses? While knights, castles, and kings often dominate our vision of the medieval world, hidden within its shadows are relics said to bring madness, misfortune, and even death. These are not ordinary artifacts preserved in dusty halls. They're cursed medieval objects that still terrify the world to this day. The Middle Ages were an age of superstition and faith, where every item could hold divine blessing or unholy power. Weapons forged in blood, manuscripts inked with forbidden knowledge, jewelry said to corrupt its wearer. And relics once worshipped, now feared. These objects has a story steeped in tragedy. They were carried into battle, stolen from the dead, hidden in monasteries, or locked away in secret chambers. But their influence has never truly faded. What makes these cursed artifacts so chilling is that their terror does not belong only to the past. Even now, whispers follow them. Museum workers falling ill, collectors meeting untimely deaths, and strange phenomena haunting those who dared to touch them. Tonight, we will uncover 5 cursed medieval objects that still terrify the world, from blades that drank too deeply of blood to relics tied to plague and despair. These objects remind us that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not alive. They are the things we leave behind. So stay with me until the end, but beware. Some curses are said to strike even those who merely hear their stories. Cursed Relic 1. The Devil's Bible Codex. Gigas. Among the most infamous relics of the medieval world lies a massive manuscript shrouded in fear and legend, the Codex Gigas, better known as the Devil's Bible. Created in the early 13th century, this towering book, 3 feet tall and weighing more than 160 pounds, was said to have been written in a single night. Not by man alone, but with the hand of the devil himself. The legend tells of a monk sentenced to death for breaking his vows. To save his life, he promised to create a book so extraordinary it would glorify the monastery forever. But as the night deepened, he realized the task was impossible. Desperate, he struck a pact with Satan, his soul, in exchange for the devil's help. By dawn, the manuscript was complete, filled with scripture, chronicles, medical texts, and even forbidden incantations. At its heart, a chilling image. A full-page portrait of the devil, glaring from the parchment with claws, horns, and a mocking grin. But the curse of this relic is more than its origin. Misfortune has followed it wherever it traveled. Monasteries that kept it fell into ruin. Wars, fires, and plagues erupted soon after it changed hands. Even when Swedish soldiers looted it during the 30 Years' War, their kingdom soon descended into chaos. Today, the Devil's Bible rests in Stockholm. But those who approach it speak of uneasy cold dread, dark dreams, or sudden sickness. Whether born of legend or truth, this cursed relic remains one of the most terrifying creations of the Middle Ages. Proof that ink and parchment can carry a darkness as heavy as any blade. Cursed Relic 2. The ring of Pope Innocent III. In the gilded courts of medieval Rome, wealth and power often came wrapped in sacred objects. But not all relics brought blessing. Some whispered of curses so strong they outlived their owners. One such tale surrounds the ring of Pope Innocent III, a jewel said to carry the weight of damnation itself. Innocent III, one of the most powerful popes of the 13th century, ruled during a time of crusades, inquisitions, and bloodshed in the name of faith. His ring, set with a large blood-red garnet, became a symbol of divine authority, but also of corruption and cruelty. Legend claims the gem was not a gift from God, but from a fallen angel, its fire a mark of the unholy. Whispers spread that whoever wore the ring would wield great power, but at a terrible cost. Innocent himself, despite his influence, suffered constant illness and nightmares of fire-consuming Christendom. After his death, the ring passed through the Vatican treasury, but misfortune dogged each hand that touched it. And one cardinal reportedly died within days of wearing it, struck by fever. Another was assassinated, his body found clutching the jewel as if it burned his skin. The curse did not end with the Middle Ages. Centuries later, the ring resurfaced briefly in the hands of collectors. Each time, calamity followed fires, sudden deaths, or inexplicable financial ruin. Terrified, the Vatican is said to have locked it away deep within its vaults, never to be displayed again. What makes this relic so haunting is not only its legend, but the symbolism it carries. A ring meant to embody faith and purity instead became a reminder of greed, violence, and divine punishment. Whether or not the curse is real, the ring of Pope Innocent III stands as a warning. Some treasures are too heavy for any mortal to bear. Cursed Relic 3, the hexed sword of the executioner. Few objects in medieval history carry as much dread as the sword of the executioner. Forged not for battle or honor, but for death itself, these blades were instruments of finality. Among them, one sword stands out in legend. The hexed sword of the executioner, a weapon said to carry the souls of those it struck down. This cursed relic is believed to have belonged to a German executioner in the 15th century, a man whose blade tasted the blood of nobles and commoners alike. The sword was said to be impossibly sharp, its steel glinting with an unnatural darkness. It was used in countless beheadings, each stroke echoing through the town square as the crowd watched in terror. But with every life it took, whispers grew that the blade itself absorbed their suffering. Those who handled the sword after executions reported hearing faint screams when they held it, as though the dying moments of the condemned were trapped within the steel. Some executioners complained of haunting visions, faces of the dead appearing in their dreams, eyes wide with accusation. After its owner died, the sword changed hands several times, but each bearer met a grim fate. One was struck with madness, raving about voices that would not stop. Another murdered his family in a frenzy before turning the blade on himself. Superstition spread quickly. The sword was cursed, a vessel of vengeance forged by blood and iron. Eventually, the hexed sword was locked away, hidden in a monastery said to keep cursed artifacts. Yet stories persist that it still exists, its edge unbroken, its whispers waiting for the next hand boldor foolish enough to claim it. Whether a relic of justice or tool of damnation, the hexed sword reminds us of a chilling truth. Sometimes the weapon carries more than the weight of its victims, it carries their rage. Cursed Relic 4, the plague cross during the Black Death, when half of Europe lay under the shadow of death. Countless relics were created in desperate attempts to ward off the plague. Priests and monks carried crucifixes through infected towns, blessing the sick and burying the dead. Yet one such artifact, remembered in whispers as the plague cross, became infamous, not for saving lives but for spreading terror. The cross was said to be carved hastily during the 14th century from the wood of a plague, a mass grave where victims had been dumped. A wandering priest carried it from village to village, proclaiming it would protect the faithful. But wherever the plague cross appeared, death seemed to follow even faster. Entire communities blessed beneath its shadow soon perished within weeks. Legends tell of a strange stench that clung to the wood, as though the souls of the unburied dead still seeped from it. Those who touched the cross fell ill almost immediately, their bodies erupting with the telltale black swellings of the pestilence. Some believe the artifact was cursed because of its unholy origin, others because it had absorbed the despair of the plague victims it was carved from. Even after the worst of the Black Death had passed, the cross retained its sinister reputation. It was hidden away by terrified monks in a sealed reliquary, only to resurface centuries later when collectors of dark relics sought it. Each attempt to remove it from its resting place ended in sudden sickness or unexplained death. Today, the plague cross is said to be locked deep within a monastery vault, its location kept secret. Few dare speak of it, for its legend remains. A holy symbol corrupted, a cursed relic that brought only despair. Whether myth or truth, it serves as a chilling reminder that even faith, when tainted by death, can turn into fear. Cursed Relic 5. The Book of Forbidden Spells in the Shadowed Corners of Medieval Europe. Whispers spoke of books that no priest would bless, no scholar would dare read aloud. Among these grimoires, none was more feared than the Book of Forbidden Spells, a manuscript said to be inked with blood and bound in the skin of the damned. The origins of the book are shrouded in mystery. Some claim it was created by a renegade monk who turned from God and embraced sorcery. Others insist it was the work of wandering heretics who recorded unholy rites in secret to challenge the church. What is certain is that, wherever the book surfaced, disaster followed. Its pages were said to contain incantations for summoning spirits, curses to rot the flesh, and rituals of sacrifice that promised power in exchange for the soul. Those who possessed it were monks disappeared, nobles fell into madness, and entire villages whispered of strange fires burning in the night. One tale tells of a scholar in Prague who obtained the book in the 15th century. Within weeks, his servants found him lifeless, his body contorted, his face frozen in terror. The book lay open beside him, the words on its pages said to glow faintly in the dark. Another legend claims that during the Inquisition, an attempt was made to burn the book, but the flames would not consume it. Eventually, the Book of Forbidden Spells vanished, hidden by those who feared its power. Some say it rests in the vaults of the Vatican, locked away with other dangerous relics. Others believe it remains in the world, passed from hand to hand, always leaving ruin in its wake. Whether real or imagined, the legend of this cursed relic endures. For in every age, humanity fears knowledge too dark to bear, too bare and few relics embody that terror more completely than the Book of Forbidden Spells. From the towering pages of the Devil's Bible to the blood-red jewel of Pope Innocent's ring, from the hexed sword of the executioner to the unholy plague cross, and finally the sinister Book of Forbidden Spells, the relics reveal a chilling truth. The Middle Ages were not only an age of faith and power, but also of fear, superstition, and shadows that clung to the objects people held sacred. What makes these cursed relics so unforgettable is not just the terror they inspired in their own time, but the way their legends endure. Even centuries later, whispers surround them, tales of sickness, death, madness, and despair striking those who dared to possess them. Whether created by dark bargains, born of tragedy, or twisted by human cruelty, each relic remains a reminder that sometimes evil leaves its mark, not on people, but on the things they leave behind. Perhaps these stories are nothing more than superstition, exaggerated by fear and retold through the ages. Or perhaps they are warnings, cautioning us that certain powers are never meant to be touched. In the end, it is not only the history that terrifies us, it is the possibility that some curses never die. If these tales of cursed medieval objects have chilled you, don't let the journey end here. Like this video, share it with fellow seekers of dark history, and subscribe to the channel for more whispers from the shadows of the past. Because the Middle Ages may be gone, but its darkest relics still terrify the world.